All right, welcome to another day of live streaming. Gone with the usual intro. So I've been doing this series for 21 days now. So I'm in between projects and a bunch of distractions to do. One of them was a dentist appointment I had today, and I'm happy to report I have no cavities. Also my eviction hearing is on the 26th, so that's probably going to be distracting if I have to respond to some evidence and stuff like that. So for the in-between period, I've been inviting people to do super chats if they want to see and request a specific type of content. And with that said, I guess we'll continue with what I'd been working on the last 20 days. So I started a bit later tonight because I got really distracted with I found it really hard to set in this version of IntelliJ. I upgraded the Java version from Java 17 to Java 21, and I couldn't figure out how to set the JDK correctly, and I kept not finding it. But anyway, it was in File, Project Structure, and I just set it in here. Now you can set it for you can also set it in this, but when I set it in here, it wouldn't work. Yeah, to keep changing that 21, it would just say invalid. So, but anyway, got it figured out, and it works now. I kind of spaced out today. Today was an exercise day, and I also I got up pretty early. I also last night I tried to actually just quickly complete some of the work I'd done last night on stream, and I had a weird deadlock bug, and I actually ended up staying up until I thought this small code change would take maybe 10 minutes max, but then I was up until 2 trying to figure out why it was deadlocking. It took a long time to debug it, and that the root cause of the issue was somehow I had deleted one of the I have a statement to add the thread for in this class I had this statement here. I had accidentally this thread here. I had accidentally deleted this statement when I was refactoring before, and I didn't notice it. And I don't know how, but I think maybe because of race conditions, it didn't matter. I didn't take the time to investigate why, but for some reason, I had accidentally deleted this, which meant that the thread that's supposed to process messages from this just didn't start. So of course the whole application deadlocked because it was not getting messages. Yeah, cavities. Yeah, I'm super happy about that. No more thousands of dollars worth of root canals. I got enough root canals. Hopefully you never get more of them. My arch nemesis. Let the domination commence. Bradley, that statement doesn't contribute very much. We've not yet met in this timeline. Is that a reference to a show or a movie or something? I'm not familiar. Good old threading. So the thing I did last night, and have been working on for a while, was refactoring, just taking some of the functions to like create new frames and stuff, and just try to make them a bit more simple and reusable, so that way I can eventually I want to make it so you can send messages to this thread, and then it'll return IDs, and it can kind of more granularly change launch threads and shut them down and stuff. Just aiding in the vision of world domination. Excellent. Let me think. So the last thing I did was, oh yeah, actually I still have a couple more of those to do. So I want to move away from like passing object references to handing out IDs to like a frame, and then that ID number, you can map that ID number to both the frame and the thread that's associated with it. So the eventual vision would be, instead of having this flag, I have to like change and go recompile. I could just, I could have like a help menu option to like test this view, and it would like reset the UI to look exactly like that. When will your world domination series end? It's a good question. I'm kind of thinking like maybe on the order of like 30 days or so. Or probably I would say at least another 10 more days. I'll probably do it until so my hearing. I don't want to start work on anything significant until the hearing's done. So maybe after that. programmer had a problem. He thought to himself, I know, I'll solve it with threads. But threading's really good though. If you have a lot of threads, you can keep them all blocked, and then you can achieve like minimum response times. And as long as the threads aren't running all the time, as long as they're mostly parked, then you can have quite a few of them, and it doesn't really add much overhead. But of course, you have deadlocks and stuff all the time. W fake hacking. Oh, we got a super chat. Why are all programmers or Linux YouTubers bald? Luke Smith. That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe it's I think well, I'm not sure, but I think baldness is associated with testosterone. So maybe it's just we're all so manly. But yeah, I mean, you're asking the interesting questions. Or Java programmers. I don't know. I don't know much about the correlation with Java programmers. Don't have money, but I'm with the cause. Oh, and thank you to Not a FBI Honeypot for the $5. I'm kind of spacey and lower energy tonight. I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep. This is why all streamers are on Adderall and drink Prime energy drinks all the time. Linux equals technological minimalism. Baldness equals, oh yeah, hair is bloat. So I don't need all that bloat on my head. How did Dennis go? Did that fix the peculiar grin? I'm not sure about that peculiar grin, but I have no cavities, so it was just a checkup, basically in a cleaning. So I'm happy to report no more root canals. I'm done with root canals. Never again. Do you have any tips on building a house? I will be doing something like that soon. That's not my area of expertise. There's lots of YouTube videos on that subject. Yeah, YouTube I think is the place to go for that kind of DIY stuff these days. Measure twice, cut once. It's a decent heuristic. So right now, I'm thinking about I want to make some maybe better primitive functions for I don't have like 5,000 different like primitive functions, but basically in building up the UI frames, there's effectively like a tree. So I'm thinking about maybe I'd have a message type for creating like a leaf node or something. So you would hand it in an ID to an existing frame, and then it'll create a leaf node. And then it gives you an ID back of the leaf node. When is the time to take the state? Sorry by broken English. When is the time to take the state? You mean like take over the state? Oh, for world domination, you mean? I guess once I have enough money. Once you have enough money, you can do anything. I've been checked in a while now, but how many members are we up to now? So right now, so at the peak, I think it was at around 199 or so, and that was, but that was counting like 50 or so gifted memberships. So when I was doing my doubling each day, or doubling each week, I got quite a few gifted. There was around 50 or so that were gifted, and then those expired. I think right now I'm at around 159 or so, and I think the monthly revenue, the monthly membership revenue is $250. I think 255 or something. Huzzah, indeed. Yeah, it's a nice nice cushion to kind of pad the revenue. The daily revenue is I'm kind of averaging about like break even right now, which is great because that's more than I was at before. So if I can manage to get a little bit more content out, I'm working on a shorts video that I think the shorts video will do well. I am 50% done the shorts video. There's a few more scenes to film. So I don't know. We'll see. So there's some content that I make, and I'm like, oh, this is great, but then it doesn't get many views. My immigration video was doing well at the start, but it's like leveled off to almost nothing now, which is I think kind of interesting. But I don't know. That was one of those videos that I figured would like, the algorithm would intentionally bury it, or it would push it out like crazy. But I guess this was the former. We need to build a road to Axel-Heiberg so I can drive my house up there. I'll leave that up to you. Yeah, they did build a road to, what's it called? It's some name I can't pronounce, like Penning Turing or something. I think that's, or no, it's I think Tuktoyaktuk. I think that might be the name of it. It's up nearby Yukon, up by the border. Yeah, or there's a road that goes out there. It's took like, I don't know, hundreds of millions or something and many years to finish. It's over like permafrost. Sorry, I'm having trouble reading that name tonight. Abdarmain Traor says, "Hi, I'm back. Welcome back to another night of working on the block mining simulation game." I'm a bit tired tonight, so I'm kind of low energy. But we're going to press on. I think it would be easier to enact nuclear winter to freeze the oceans, create an ice road, than it is to create an actual road. Yeah, I don't know, but if you freeze the oceans, though, it's going to be like icebergs and stuff everywhere. You're going to like run into them, and it'd be you need like, yeah, it'd be too rough. Streaming is kind of it actually is kind of a good way to force yourself to do things. Because I was so tired this evening, I'm just like, oh, I want to go to bed. But then after like, if I'm live, I gotta do something. I can't just do nothing. So I start working on it, and now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting into this, even though I'm tired. What are your stream days? Right now, I've been streaming. I've been trying to stream every day, and I've been consistent in that fact. Historically, I used to just do Saturday evenings. But I decided I had kind of some downtime, or not necessarily downtime, but I have some very interrupty time where I had to work on, just get distracted with some stuff and didn't want to commit my time and focus to something. So I decided to do streaming, because streaming is extremely low effort, and it's also just an experiment to gather data on like how much, basically how many kind of super chat donations would I get? How many would I get? Any members from it? Would people even watch me actually work on stuff? And so far, it's kind of a successful experiment. I'm kind of like doubling the daily revenue by streaming, and which is putting me at about break-even point. I take it you've ruled out sleep streams then? I don't know. I mean, it's you have to follow the money. I mean, I guess that would be amusing. Like I don't know what to do. Like, what if that actually made money? Like if let's say that made like $200 a night or something. I mean, if you make it interesting, like if you super chat, then it'll just play a sound and wake me up or something. Then, but then again, like that is I would kind of like to stay somewhat true to like the point. Like what the question is, why am I doing any of this? And I am motivated to educate people, build software. But then, of course, the algorithm wants you to pull you into like producing nonsensical brain rot, which I don't know. In the future, like all of GDP might just be like people posting like live streaming nonsense all the time. Like everyone will have terminal brain rot, and everyone will be watching sleep streams of everyone else and reacting to them. Be sure to take care of your health, annual health checkup, and dental cleaning the best. Yeah, dental I keep track of. Doctor, I haven't been to a doctor in probably over 10 years, maybe like 15 years or something at this point. I think Canada has, that is part of public health service. Dental, I have to pay for out of pocket. They were trying to pass some like, I don't know, $500 dental plan or something like that. But actually, I think our government, like Parliament, basically we kind of just don't have a government, I guess, because what happened? We had the Emergencies Act for COVID and stuff, and then later some other stuff happened, and I don't even know what's going on with our Parliament, but our Parliament doesn't sit, and I don't know what they're doing now. I don't know, maybe they'll get back to business as usual, but it's been like before COVID since things were normal. Adios for now. See you later. Good experiment. Keep it up. Yeah, I think maybe on the last one of these, I'll officially announce my plans for world domination, and then I'll do some retrospective and go over like the revenue and what some of the metrics were and stuff. Why wouldn't you cause sleep deprivation and borderline torture yourself? The future is now. I mean, it's that would be like a ridiculous thing, but like if it made like thousands of dollars per day or something, just as a gimmick, then, if to be like sleep deprived for a few days or something. But I don't know. I don't think it's probably not in the cards at the moment. Stop thinking long term. Feed us the brain rot we crave. Sometimes I often look up other people that are creating stuff to try and like understand the patterns and like what type of content does well. And every once in a while I stumble across some like TikTok streamers that seem like they started out, they did some like, kind of brain rotty type thing, and it got like millions of views, and then they just start like pumping out trying to do the exact same video, and then their views slowly go down to like nothing. And now they're like posting one every day and putting a lot of work into them, but then nobody watches them. I'm Medic Southview at 35. You need to get blood tests for lipid fat. Usually every 10 years, you'll get that. More complicated tests. No need to disclose online chat, but take care. Yeah, it's on the to-do list, but it's just so many other priorities. The last few years have been chaotic. Just about staying alive and staying housed. When you dominate the world, please remember me. I'll be a war general or something. I'm sure I'll keep you in mind for a top position. I think I have a fun idea for you, something that's in line with your sense of humor. I'm happy to hear it. Kids that are watching, that's how to create a professional network. Just ask politely. Kids that are watching, that's how you create a professional network. You should invade and officially declare dominion over a tiny chunk of land, like 1 by 1 meters. Make a website for it, write a treaty, have your fans sign a petition, and send it to Parliament. Yeah, I mean, anything's possible with the internet these days. Yeah, I'll probably continue with the research on Axel Heiberg Island. I mean, it's interesting to research those northern islands because it's so massive, and like it's bigger than a lot of normal countries that have populations of tens of millions, but no one lives on this island. Which is it's incredible to think about. And there's vast mountains and ice sheets there and stuff, but nobody lives there. And there was some tour company that, I think to get a plane trip up there, it's $25,000 because you're buying fuel for, the the whole plane. And there was they offered trips up there, and they said like even at 26,000, it's like they're not even making money. It's almost like a charity service. We could live in a giant greenhouse glass dome up there. It'd be I don't know, think about I have some just random ideas for content about I mean, I could continue the meme in a lot of ways that were interesting about, like, there are a lot of technical challenges about living in an extreme environment. And I think that might be a good way to, like, explore, renewable energies and stuff. And so the greenhouse thing would work in the summer, but it's way above the Arctic Circle. So for like half of the year, there's basically no sunlight. Well, there is literally no sunlight, so you'd need another power source. I think realistically, like, the only source of renewal you could have up there would be wind energy, because it would be like very dark, and I think it's probably quite windy in the winter, but maybe not even all the time. And the cost of that, maintaining like wind infrastructure up there, would be pretty expensive. I think like real communities that are up there are pretty much all running on like diesel generators and stuff. In the event of a meter takeover, I'll be the first to sign the petition. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll figure something out. I gotta start my new society somewhere. My last message. My last message of censored for mentioning world domination. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, I think I kind of like this feature of allowing people to see when they're being censored. So I'll probably continue doing the on-screen chat. Go to Somalia. They have no government. I don't know. Somalia's, there's some angry people there. I don't want to have to interact with angry people. could probably look into what happens when the wind currents change due to global warming. Yeah, I mean, it is, the high Arctic is becoming more hospitable. Might turn tropical, you never know. Actually, so if you look up Axel Heiberg, apparently it was, I don't know how long ago it was, or like where the land masses were, but it's famous for having like a massive prehistoric fossilized forest that was like super, I think it was super tropical. It's like a very lush green forest, but now it's a barren wasteland. It'd be funny to survey the exact coordinates, make a topo map, to send in the package. I started Googling a bunch, and you can find, like, there are all kinds of sources. There's like random like survey maps of. I was looking at one for like depths of like to find out the depths of water and stuff, and there's all kinds of interesting open source research you could do. I was wondering about, like, if you wanted to put a port somewhere, where would you put it? Like, where is it relatively deep? But also another big challenge up there is there's only around there's less than 2 months a year where the ice is clear. So if you did put a port up there, you can't really, you'd want to be really strategic about where you put the port, because it's almost always like I think the northern part, it's like there's almost no season where you could actually get open water, but in the southern tip of Axel Heiberg, you can you get a couple months where you can actually get a ship in. And there's another one of the bays that, for one of the last couple of years, I think there was no period where you could just drive in open seas or boat in. I mean, survey the 1 meter square pond. Oh, okay. Yeah, make some detailed maps and stuff. I mean, it's interesting to think about, but I have too many humorous, absurd ideas. I got to focus on the more constructive. I got to focus on things that make money and make progress, and also not get evicted. Just hydroplane a snowmobile across the ocean. You could try. I heard the Arctic isn't freezing as much because of climate change. Yeah, that is true. Although this specific area still gets pretty cold up there, but it does represent a good opportunity for development in the future. Okay, that might do what I want. Hello, I'm new. What are you programming? I am working on a terminal-based game that you run on the Linux terminal, where you simulate the process of mining blocks. And if I can get it compiled, I'll show it for you here. 184. So it gives you an infinite procedurally generated universe where you can wander around and simulate the process of mining blocks. Canada is winning in the long term. Yeah, we have a lot of area up in the north. I mean, there's honestly so much land on Earth that could be developed. Oh, that's not good. 169. That don't make a lot of sense. right, that might make more sense. Do you mean creating a universe every time you start the terminal with miners and all that stuff? Currently, there's no miners. It's just the actual gameplay is almost non-existent. A lot of the work I've been doing in the last while is in trying to build a user interface to support a lot of different other things in the game. One of which will be like debugging and stuff. So here's the gameplay. So the gameplay loop is you wander around, you spam the M key to mine blocks. So here's some wooden blocks. These are all emoji characters that display in the terminal. And as you wander around, it just generates new areas. And then to craft blocks, I can press the C key. So now it creates a pickaxe. And then if I go and mine stuff, it'll mine out to a larger radius. And so that is the entire gameplay loop. There's no other gameplay than that. And even actually the inventory, I can select it down here, but I can't move around and select the items. So it's on the to-do list to fix that. So you can actually select items and do stuff with them. The thing I've been working on is mainly like a user interface. So this help menu, the ability to open a help menu that actually explains some stuff here and has some like text formatting and stuff. And then you can also close the help menu and it doesn't crash, which is a great feature. And and so the eventual this framing system, I have a bit more. There's a bit more work in it than you can see here, and I'm just kind of trying to make that a bit more robust. And then there's a few UI glitches, and then I'm going to kind of work on a bit more of the gameplay elements. Because if the game looks bad and it's incomprehensible, then I think that's the most important thing to fix first. These streams have influenced me to research a lot about coroutines and threads and messaging in Kotlin. I think I guess if you're following in the footsteps of my approach, I'm a huge I was heavily influenced by the operating systems course that I did at the University of Waterloo, which was it was actually if you've ever heard of the QNX operating system, the very first iteration of this course, CS 452, the offering, it was a different professor. It was like, I don't know, I think it was in the 80s or something that they did this. Anyway, in the first offering of the course, the grad students who did it took the project that they did. I have QNX 6.5. Yeah, so the project that they did in that course became QNX, or at least the people, the first few people. What was it, Dan Dodge or something? I think was his name. So that was that course, CS 452 at Waterloo, was about focusing on microkernels, and so that sold me on that got me thinking a lot more about microkernels, and I think programming with like message passing and blocking and stuff is it's a bit more complicated, or at least it's I would say it's it's harder to vibe code that kind of stuff, but I think that the responsiveness, like if you actually sit down and think about how you're going to structure your application, it can be very responsive. And QNX is paid, unfortunately. It'd be nice if it was open source. QNX. So QNX is the GNU herd that was successful. So I think it's not quite like from what I understand, it runs people use QNX in a lot of contexts of like safety critical stuff. So if I remember correctly, I think actually QNX was bought by BlackBerry, and because they were using it on their phones, and I think it runs on like nuclear submarines and stuff like that. So whenever you need like high reliability, real-time critical software, I think from what I can't confirm, but from what I understand, QNX is useful in those areas. So it's not quite a general purpose thing. Yeah, it seems to me GNU Herd was going to be a microkernel. I have no idea what the status of it is now. Kevin Coolin says, hello. Will you add textures, or will it be only with emojis? For now, it'll be only emojis. But since the game like map is simple, it's possible, like since it's just a grid of blocks, it would be simple to swap out the user interface in the future for one with like better graphics. Message passing is the way to go. I'm surprised they haven't taught it alongside threads in the course where I learned about threads. Yeah, it's a good strategy for like the reason I've leaned toward it for this project is I can basically like totally avoid thinking about a lot of the concurrency problems. So I just say as long as I pass a message and the message, properly like serializes or it's not passing up object references, I can just send messages back and forth, and the synchronization can be done by just like waiting for a message to come back. So every thread can like just live in its own little universe, and as long as it can figure out a way to pass messages around, then the application works. But it's a bit of work. It's extra work to make the messages and stuff, but I don't know if I have to do a lot more of that. I might even think about like just build some kind of a tool to actually draw this like the graph diagram of like possible message pathways and stuff. I mean, I could even start tracking that at runtime if I had to, and like draw like a map with statistics, like real-time statistics about how many threads exist and where they're passing data. There's a good chance your vehicle does. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. There's a ton of like special purpose real-time operating systems and things. You should add a Bradminium that breaks 50 pickaxes per block. An extremely annoying element. Okay, like a, what do you call it? Obsidian. I could. That's lots of. I mean, the mechanics of the game are just so simple. Like I only have like 2 or 3 basic types of blocks, but I'm gonna fix the UI up first, and then I can make it a bit more interesting. Okay, so that works. If someone wants to learn RTOS in general, I recommend free RTOS. Yeah, I haven't. I've heard of that before, but I haven't checked it out. WTF are you doing, bro? I am working on building a terminal-based block mining game that I think you probably just saw. If you just joined the stream, So I'm writing some code to refactor how the user interface works. And I'm super tired right now, so I'm kind of low energy. I just joined now. Where are you from? I'm from Canada. Where are you from? India. Must be almost morning there, or midday. I might voluntarily be joining the Baron Dome Club soon. 9 a.m. and fresh new day. Howdy, Robert. Really enjoy your videos. Keep it up. Thank you for the kind words. Made a video on Indian immigration. I just saw a thumbnail, but can't see whole video. What's your view on it in short? It's too much work for me to say it in the live stream. This is the reason I made that video, is so when people ask me on a live stream, I can say, go watch the video. You could click around on it in I think if you watch like the last 10 minutes or so. The thing is, it's a complicated topic, which is why I made a 1 hour video on it, because you can't really say everything in 5 minutes. Two of the tests are failing. I got HTTPS 409 somehow. Two of the tests in the game. HTTP 409. I don't think it does. Like the single player version. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's nothing to do with my thing, is it? This game publicly available? The link is in the description, but you're not allowed to play the game. Well, you can have a 30-day trial version, but past the 30-day trial version, you have to comply with the terms of the agreement and pay me at least $1. Nine is conflict. Never thought I'd see that error. I guess if you program the web server, you can program it to say whatever errors you want to. I have to run it on Linux. Yes, I've never considered running it on any other platform. It might run. You can probably get it to run on Windows, maybe. There's a makefile in it. I don't know if makefiles work on. There's probably a way to get it to work on Linux or on Microsoft Windows, but maybe just the agreement for purchasing Power Parity, $1 in India, is like $20. Yeah, I guess I could. I don't know. For now, I'll probably keep it simple. Do you never use Windows anymore? No, I've not really had any use for it. I actually don't even know how to use Windows anymore. Like when I've had to help family with Windows stuff, I find like my basic understandings about what is or is not true on a computer is currently like not true anymore. Like there's all so much like all the OneDrive garbage and stuff. There's no rules. It's almost becoming like there's nothing even to learn. You just have to like memorize the way Windows works today, and it might work totally different tomorrow. And there's also no way to debug issues, and then they'll like randomly push breaking changes, and like you just can't do anything. Like I had to help out a family member with their laptop. Windows pushed an update that it broke the network drivers, so that you couldn't use Ethernet or Wi-Fi, and so I had to like find a driver for their specific thing, for their specific hardware, and then like load it onto a USB, and then like flash the firmware or something, or add the Windows update to like unbrick it. I use Windows for gaming. Linux just doesn't compete. Yeah, I guess that would be the difference. I can kind of see if you still if you play video games, then I think Windows still it's better. Although like Linux is it used to be that Linux was totally not acceptable at all for games. Like there were some games where like there was no possibility of running the game on Linux at all. Today it's possible with some work, usually for most of them. Personally, I haven't played really any games in years, so like especially all the 3D shooters and console games and stuff. Haven't played any of those. Linux doesn't work for games. Then use kernel anti-cheats. Interesting. Raising funds for yourself. Heartbreak. In the name of domination. You gotta start somewhere. Raising funds for world domination. Yeah. I just need. I've got $6.99 so far. Now, if I can just get about $12 billion, I think I can get started. Okay, there was one more incremental bit of progress. What is world domination? That's where you take over the world. Is this a game? Yes. I will show you some gameplay. WTF. Do you actually have any dent? Or are you pretty much cruising with some money on the side? So all of my debt is paid off. I have almost no savings at the moment, but at the moment I'm just barely cash flow positive. So I think for the month I'll probably be out ahead like $200 or something. So if I can just get the revenue up a little bit more, then I'll be able to put away for some growth. For my around last Christmas I did fairly well off YouTube. So I was able to buy some new equipment and stuff. So I have a second camera now, which is like a massive time saver. Because for the streaming camera, I have it set up right there, and then I'm also working on a shorts video. So instead of like tearing down the camera setup every single day, and then like refocusing the lens and changing the lens, and now I have two cameras, so I can just have one for filming and then another for doing the stream. Why don't you fancy a game engine instead of starting from scratch? I guess there's lots of reasons for that. First of all, most of my audience is interested in like command line stuff, and so I think it makes sense. It's kind of an interesting novelty to have a game that runs in the terminal. It's like a form of minimalism. I also think minimalism is a good way to like start a project like this, because if I can just demonstrate something that is like visual and interactive, like a basic game that works, that's like as soon as I can show people something that is functioning, then I can maybe get money or iterate to the next thing. But also it means that the amount of work for like actually developing it is a text-based graphical interface takes less work than like a 3D graphics engine or something. And then also, if I can actually get the internal game logic working well, then I think it would be possible to just swap out the UI into something more interesting, or even just maintain multiple UIs. Is it a bash script or something? It's written in Java. Is this the first game you ever made? Yeah, I guess it basically is. I mean, when I was like a kid, I tried making some basic games and stuff, and never was successful. Most of my experience is in a way, I'm kind of not even a game developer. I've never used any game engines before, and I don't know anything about traditional game development. Most of my experience is in like writing high performance servers for doing like IoT stuff, web servers, embedded system stuff, operating system development. And then of course, like most of the paid contract stuff has all been like, garbage web framework stuff. All right, what next? What Linux distro do you recommend? I would say just for like a desktop, like if you want to just get work done, I would say Ubuntu or Linux Mint sounds pretty good. I've never used Linux Mint, but lots of people recommend it. Other than that, I would say it also depends like what you're doing with it. So if you want to like test out some, like you want to learn about like enterprise security features and stuff, I'd say like Fedora. If you want to learn like hacking tools, probably Kali Linux. realistically, I think the right distribution, the reason you should pick a distribution is because of what already comes installed on it. So if you want, you can run a sequence of commands to kind of make basically any version of Linux into a different version of Linux. You can always update the kernel and enable, disable modules, and install. You could. I haven't looked into it, but you could probably change. You could probably change the package manager on Ubuntu into like Arch Linux's package manager, but it would probably be a lot of work. And then the question is, well, why would you even want to do that? Maybe it's closest to Windows-like experience. Yeah, I've heard lots of good things about it, but I can't say I've tried it. I wanted to use Manjaro with secure boot, but on my BIOS won't clear the secure boot keys. There is no option to clear keys. You got any idea on that? Yeah, I've never tried Manjaro, but in terms of the secure boot thing, won't clear the secure boot. Maybe you have to go into BIOS and like disable secure boot or something, and then I don't know. Can you clear the keys in BIOS? I'm not sure. I have installed. I've only used systems. I've only installed on systems that have secure boot enabled like a couple times, and it worked pretty easily for me. But there's probably a simple solution to what you are looking for. After this game, are you looking to potentially make a 2D, 3D game? I'll probably, I think this project will keep me busy enough. I mean, I have this game idea, and then I also have like other kinds of video content ideas and a million other things I want to do. So all right, what was I going to code next? Yeah, you could probably disable secure boot, maybe to clear the keys or something, and then like maybe re-enable it. I'm not sure, but there's probably a way to get it working with the secure boot. I used another device to set up secure boot by registering secure boot keys from Manjaro, but this device is just not cutting it. What is the plan for this game? The plan, actually, I have a couple of dedicated videos on the topic. If you search my channel for why build a terminal-based video game, it's a vision. I had planned to not spend very much time in the UI, but unfortunately I'm kind of hitched up on that. But yeah, I'll be more productive tomorrow, I think, after I get a good night's sleep. think the next thing will be I should just take in like an array of IDs. Just watch your vids. Went from debt to ball. Balling in the industry. Went from debt to balling in the industry. I'm not sure what you mean by balling in the industry. But I worked at it was internships back at Amazon like 10 years ago. But since then, tried to stake it out on my own, making loads of money. I've been able to survive recently, but in terms of building a ton of savings, that is yet to happen. But the numbers are going up. The YouTube is the first thing I've done where there's a consistent relationship between like how hard I work and the amount of payoff that I get. Whereas from the consulting stuff, it's a lot of it just seemed to be, investing time into a hole. But so hopefully things will pick up. But otherwise, I think I'll probably call it a night tonight. I fulfilled my obligation to stream every day, so I'll probably be back tomorrow, a bit more refreshed. So have a good night, guys. Later.